All right, let's kick this off. If you've been learning English for any amount of time, you've probably done the same thing most people do. You've memorized words, crammed grammar rules, watched hours of YouTube videos, and yet, when it's time to actually speak, you freeze. Your mind goes blank. You look like a deer caught in headlights. Well, guess what? This episode isn't for the perfect English speakers, because honestly, that's a myth. If you're waiting for some magical moment when everything clicks and you're suddenly fluent, stop. It's never going to happen. Not because you're not smart enough or capable enough. No. It's because you've been focusing on all the wrong things. You've been memorizing, but you haven't been living in English. And that's what we're here to fix today. Look, I get it. You've been practicing, you've been trying, but every time you get into a conversation, that stupid voice in your head tells you, you're not ready. You don't know enough words. You'll mess up. It's like you're treating English like this big test that you have to pass, when in reality, you're not even supposed to be taking a test. You're supposed to be using it, not staring at flashcards or obsessing over grammar books. No, you need to start living in English. And here's the truth you've been ignoring. The more you try to be perfect, the further away you're going to get from actually speaking. This podcast isn't about teaching you perfect grammar or helping you memorize the entire dictionary. It's about giving you permission to speak, to fail, and to get your hands dirty. You're going to make mistakes. I mean, hell, you're probably going to make a lot of them. But that's exactly what this is all about. Making mistakes, learning from them, and moving on. So here's the deal. Stop memorizing, start living in English, because that's the only way you're going to get anywhere. Ready? Let's get to it. All right, let's get into the mess of it. You've been learning English for years, right? Probably more than you want to admit. And what's the result? You know tons of words. You can read an article without breaking a sweat. But when someone asks you to speak, your brain starts to malfunction. And let me guess, every time you're about to speak, you think, I'm not ready yet. I still need to know more words. I need to perfect my grammar. I need to memorize these rules first. But guess what? That's where you're getting stuck. You're treating English like a subject you need to study for an exam, not a tool you actually need to use. And that's why you're never ready. You're waiting for some magical moment of perfection that doesn't exist. Let's break down the biggest lie you've been telling yourself. I'll start speaking when I'm ready. Ready never comes. I don't care how many words you've memorized or how many grammar rules you've learned. You're never going to feel 100% ready. And if you're waiting for that perfect moment, you'll be waiting forever. The only way you're going to get better is by starting now. You need to start talking before you feel ready. It's messy, it's uncomfortable, but that's how learning works. You think the people who speak English fluently didn't screw up 1,000 times before they got it right? They did, but they didn't stop. They didn't let their fear of mistakes hold them back. They started talking even when they weren't ready. And you need to do the same. Here's the other thing. You're probably terrified that people will laugh at you if you make a mistake. Let's be honest, that's what's really holding you back, isn't it? The fear of looking stupid. But guess what? People are too busy thinking about themselves to care about your grammar mistakes. And if they do laugh, who cares? They're the ones who need to grow up, not you. You're the brave one here. You're the one actually trying, and that's more than most people can say. So, stop worrying about what other people think. The real failure is not speaking at all. Now, let's talk about the accent obsession. You've been told 1,000,000 times that you need to sound like a native speaker, that you have to master the perfect accent if you want to be understood. Well, I'm here to tell you that's complete nonsense. You don't need to sound like you're from London or California. You just need to be clear. As long as you're understandable, you're good. You don't need to mimic every tiny detail of someone's accent. What you need is to speak clearly, with confidence, and let the words flow. It's not about perfection. It's about communication. And then there's the myth that if you've been learning for years, you should be better by now. Well, here's the thing. You've been exposed to English for years, but you haven't been using it. There's a big difference. You've been studying it like it's some distant thing you'll get to someday, but you haven't been living it. And that's the real problem. You've spent all this time collecting knowledge, but you haven't been practicing speaking. So stop comparing yourself to others who seem fluent. Start comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. If you're making progress, no matter how small, you're winning. And that's the mindset you need to have. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to make mistakes, learn from them, and get better. So here's the real talk. Stop memorizing words like they're treasures you need to collect. Stop obsessing over grammar rules that don't help when you're actually speaking. Stop waiting to be ready. You need to speak. You need to practice. You need to make mistakes, because that's how you're going to get better. And if you're not speaking, you're not learning. Simple as that. Let's stop over-preparing and start speaking. It's time to live in English, not study it from the sidelines. All right, so now that we've acknowledged the truth, English is not about memorizing, it's about using it. Let's talk about why speaking is the most important part of the whole process. I know. You're probably thinking, but I don't have the confidence to speak. Well, guess what? Confidence comes from speaking, not from sitting in a corner practicing grammar rules in your head. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect. You just need to speak. Every single day. The thing is, most of us are terrified of speaking because we're scared of making mistakes. It's like we've been conditioned to think that if we don't speak perfectly, we're failures. But here's the reality. If you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. Think about it. The best way to learn to walk is by falling, right? The more times you trip and get back up, the stronger your legs become. It's the same with speaking English. The more you speak, the more mistakes you'll make. And guess what? That's actually progress. Now, let's talk about shadowing. This isn't some cheesy trick or quick fix. It's a game changer. Shadowing means you pick something in English, whether it's a podcast, a TV show, or a movie scene, and repeat every word you hear exactly as you hear it. I'm talking about mimicking the speaker's rhythm, tone, and even their little pauses. Why? Because your brain is like a sponge. The more you hear, the more it gets used to how English actually sounds in real life. No textbook sentences, no robot voices, just real, authentic English. And you know what happens after you do this for a while? You start to sound more natural. You start to think in English without translating every word. It's like you're rewiring your brain to stop overthinking and just speak. But here's the thing. It's not easy. It's uncomfortable. And you're probably going to feel ridiculous at first. That's okay. Everyone does. But the more you push through that awkwardness, the better you'll get. I mean, think about it. How many times have you felt embarrassed the first time you tried something new? Probably more times than you care to count. But did you let that stop you? No. You kept going. And that's what you need to do with English. You need to stop caring so much about how you sound and just focus on getting the words out. And here's a little trick to really get into the habit. Record yourself. I know, it sounds weird. Who wants to hear their own voice? But trust me, recording yourself is one of the fastest ways to improve. You hear yourself the way others hear you. And no, it's not going to sound perfect, but it's going to sound real. And that's all that matters. Record yourself speaking about a random topic for 60 seconds. It doesn't matter if you're repeating what you've heard or just talking about your day. The point is to get used to speaking out loud. Do this every day and you'll start to see a difference. Speaking every day is the key here. Whether you're shadowing a video, recording yourself, or just talking to yourself in the mirror, the more you practice, the more natural it will become. Stop overthinking, stop waiting for the perfect moment, and start speaking. It's that simple. Just like any skill, you get better with practice. And this practice doesn't have to be formal or perfect. It just has to happen. So don't wait for the stars to align before you start speaking. Start now. Make those mistakes, get used to your voice, and watch as your English gets better with every word. All right, so now that we've tackled the whole speak even if you're not ready thing, let's dive into how you can start living in English every single day. I'm talking about integrating English into your life in a way that makes it feel less like studying and more like breathing. Because the truth is, the more you make English part of your daily routine, the less it's going to feel like this separate, big task you have to prepare for. Instead, it's just going to become another part of the way you live, like checking your phone or drinking your morning coffee. Let's start simple. Look around you. I mean, really look around. The world is already full of English. It's in the signs you pass, the ads on your phone, the captions under Instagram photos. It's everywhere. You just need to start paying attention. Start making small changes. For example, switch your phone settings to English. Change your social media language to English. Don't worry, you'll still be able to navigate it. The key here is that you'll constantly be exposed to English. And guess what? Exposure is the best way to learn. The more you see it, the more it becomes second nature. Next, think about your daily tasks. What's something you do every day that you could turn into a little English lesson? You go to the store, right? Why not start practicing English while you're doing that? Read the product labels in English, even if you don't understand every word. The point is to get used to seeing and hearing English constantly. You don't need to translate everything. Just focus on getting familiar with the words, even if you don't use them right away. Try talking to yourself in English while you're cooking or cleaning. Describe what you're doing in English out loud. It might feel a little ridiculous at first, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. You know how you scroll through your social media without thinking? Well, it's time to start scrolling in English. Follow more accounts that post in English. You'll be exposed to all kinds of vocabulary, phrases, and expressions that real people actually use. Pay attention to captions, comments, or even tweets. And if you see something that makes you stop and think, try to comment in English. Even if it's just a simple, "I love this," or "this is amazing." It doesn't have to be a big deal. The more you engage in English, the more you'll get used to using it. Social media is a goldmine for real conversational English, if you know how to use it. Now let's talk about another easy way to live in English. Media. I'm sure you already watch movies or TV shows, right? Why not use that time to practice? The next time you watch something, try doing it without subtitles. I know, it sounds scary, but trust me, this is one of the best ways to get your ears used to real, natural English. When you're watching, try to focus on the rhythm of the conversation, the way people stress certain words, and how they connect phrases together. And here's a little bonus. After watching a scene, repeat it. Don't just repeat the words, but mimic the tone and the pace of the speaker. It's like you're acting out the scene. And trust me, it's more useful than any grammar exercise you could do. You can also make English part of your conversations. Yes, I'm talking about speaking to real people. It doesn't have to be some deep conversation about philosophy or your dreams for the future. You don't need to have perfect grammar. Just talk about what you're doing. The weather. What you ate for breakfast. Just practice speaking, even if it's with a friend or a language partner. The more you use English in real conversations, the more it becomes natural. And here's the most important part of all this. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. The more you make English a part of your life, the less of a big deal it'll feel. It'll just be there in the background, making everything you do a little bit more comfortable. The key is to stop treating English like something you study and start treating it like something you live. The more you surround yourself with English, the easier it'll get. So, start small. Change your phone settings. Talk to yourself. Watch something in English. Listen to a podcast. Start with one sentence. You don't have to take huge leaps. Just step by step, day by day, start living in English. Now, let's wrap this up with the challenge that's going to push you from I'm trying to I'm doing this. I've been telling you throughout this episode that English isn't about memorizing. It's about living it. And living it means you've got to speak. So here's the deal. I want you to start speaking every single day. No excuses. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. First things first, let's talk about recording yourself. I know it sounds uncomfortable. You're going to hear your voice and think, is that really what I sound like? Yes. Yes, it is. But here's the thing. Recording yourself is one of the fastest ways to improve. Pick a topic. Anything. Maybe talk about your day. Maybe talk about a book you're reading. Maybe describe the weather outside. Just pick something and then talk about it for a full minute. Don't overthink it. Don't pause to fix anything. Just speak. Press record, say the first thing that comes to mind, and let it flow. You're going to mess up. And guess what? That's okay. You're here to learn, not be perfect. Next, let's talk about shadowing. Every day, I want you to find a short clip in English. Could be from a podcast, a YouTube video, a TV show, or even a movie scene, and I want you to mimic every word. Seriously. If the speaker says, "Hey, how's it going?" you say it exactly like them. Copy the rhythm, the tone, the pauses. Don't just focus on what they're saying. Focus on how they're saying it. It's going to feel weird at first. It's going to feel like you're acting. But guess what? That's exactly what you need to do. You need to get your mouth and your brain used to speaking English in real, natural ways. Don't just repeat the words. Repeat the feeling. It's going to sound like bad dubbing at first, but that's part of the process. You're training your brain to think in English, not just memorize it. But that's not enough. I want you to take it a step further. Speak to real people. If you're not already talking to someone in English every day, start now. Get on a language exchange app. Find someone who's learning your language and trade conversations. Or if that feels too intimidating, just talk to your friend. Ask them about their day in English. Ask them about their favorite movie. Whatever it is, speak. The more you use English in real conversations, the more natural it's going to feel. Now here's where it gets real. For the next 7 days, I want you to take the 7-day speaking challenge. Every day, for 1 minute, pick a different topic to talk about. It doesn't matter if it's random. Just speak. Don't worry about being grammatically perfect. Don't worry about having the right accent. Just focus on getting the words out. And if you mess up, laugh it off. You're here to learn. You're here to improve. And guess what? You can't improve if you don't speak. By the end of the week, you'll notice something. You won't feel as scared to speak anymore. You won't worry about whether or not you sound perfect. You'll start to see that making mistakes isn't a failure. It's a sign that you're actually learning. And the more you practice, the more fluent you'll become. So what's stopping you? Stop memorizing. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The time to start living in English is right now. Speak. Record yourself. Shadow. Talk to people. And most importantly, don't be afraid to mess up. Because every time you do, you're getting one step closer to actually living in English. And that's the real goal here, isn't it? Now go ahead. Take that first step. Speak today. And don't look back.